Let's talk about kerosene pickles. Let's talk about Old Man Rimshaw. Let's talk about Barney's sidecar. It's always fun to hang out with y'all. A loaded goat is causing a stir from the panic he is creating. Come on in, take a seat. It's 2 chairs, no waiting. Sit a spell and tune right in. We are about to start the show. We have a lot to talk about with the folks that we all know. Opie and Ian, Otis, Barn, and the darlings too. This will be amazing. It's 2 chairs, no waiting.
Episode number 877, Love and Laughter, a Valentine's Day in Mayberry.
It's 2 chairs, no waiting. It's 2 chairs.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to 2 Chairs No Waiting. Thank you, boys, for playing us in there. I appreciate it. I'm Allan, Newsome, the host of 2 Chairs No Waiting, and it is great to be here with you. I want to thank our sponsor for this week, which is pretty much our sponsor every week, is Weaver's Department Store. Head over to Weaver's Department Store and pick up some Mayberry items. They got Floyd's Barbershop Soap. They've got a Mayberry Sheriff's Office t-shirt, and just coming in, it's not even actually in yet, but you guys can go ahead and pre-order if you'd like to. You've got kind of a matching Mayberry Sheriff's Office baseball cap. It's actually a dad hat, a dad cap. It fits close to your head. You know, it's one of those. I like the hats. So hopefully they're going to be in the next couple of days, but you can pre-order and get them and get your t-shirt at the same time. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check it out. We also have our executive producer of episode number 877, Mike McGonigal. He's Kentucky Mike in our chat room, so tell him hi if you see him. Again, I'm Allan Newsome, the host of 2 Chairs No Waiting, and it is great to be here. And we're going to talk about Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day. Even in the town where the biggest crime is probably a misplaced pickle jar, love found the way. It found its way into Mayberry's gentle rhythms, and from puppy love crushes to long-term romances, the show wove sweetness into some of its most memorable moments. One of the earliest that we could think about, perhaps, is a charming arc of affection from young Opie Taylor himself. In season 5's Opie Loves Helen, you remember that? He awkwardly but adorably developed a crush on his schoolteacher, Miss Helen Crump, even going so far as to buy her a gift for his hard-earned 74 cents. And Opie's love continued all the way into the 8th season, where in Opie's first love, he mustered up the courage to ask a classmate, Mary Alice Carter, to a party. And that was a classic tween drama, complete with dance plans and mixed up signals. And, boy, that was terrible. Of course, then there's even Aunt Bee. Aunt Bee's love life, she had one too. She got her share of the spotlight. From old beaus like Roger Hanover returning to Mayberry to court her, to her trying out the idea of marriage with dry cleaner Fred Goss, Aunt Bee was hit by Cupid's arrow from time to time. But this episode, we're going to be exploring Andy and Helen and Barney Thel romances, because the romance like that, they didn't rush it. And the fans all knew that. We watched for all those years where neither one of them married the other. But ultimately, they all did end up together. Love in Mayberry wasn't about the drama or high stakes. It wasn't about that. It was about sincerity, community support, hooty-hoo, whatever it was. Awkward moments and personal growth throughout the whole show. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to play some trivia from Paul Mulick. That's the topic is, oh, you're funny, are you? No, you're funny, you are. That's what it is. Oh, you're funny, you are. As Paul sent those in. We're going to play some of those, and we're going to wrap up with a special song dedicated from Fred to his wonderful wife Jenny Boone. The lyrics for that song were written by our friend Ronnie Felker, and it's most certainly it's Fred's heart speaking to Jenny's heart. So stick around to the end because you're going to want to listen to and see it. There's a video of it, so you're going to want to see this. So All right, so let's talk now. Let's head over to talking about Andy and Helen. Okay, so I feel like we need a little romance type music. There's a little bit of no, I don't like that. Let's try this one. Oh, there we go. Romance music for Valentine's Day. So we're going to be talking about Andy and Helen. The slow burn. Oh my goodness. So Andy and Helen, if you blinked, you might have missed the romance between Andy Taylor and Helen Crump. And honestly, that was kind of the point, right? This isn't a love story about, I don't know, fireworks and dramatic speeches. It's a Mayberry love story. Quiet, cautious, and built on trust. When Helen Crump first shows up in Mayberry as the new school teacher, she isn't introduced as Andy's future wife. She's just there. She's smart, confident, slightly unimpressed by Andy and his folksy charm, which might have been the most attractive thing about her to Andy. And Andy, well, he wasn't exactly rushing into anything. Remember, Andy is a widower. That's something the show never really leans heavily on, but it's always there under the surface. He's content. He's got Opie. He's got Aunt Bee. He's got a town that mostly behaves itself. Romance isn't missing from his life. It's just not just something he doesn't really chase it. It's not something he chases. And that's what makes Helen special. She doesn't chase him either. Boy, that's true. She doesn't chase him. Instead, we get this slow, sometimes awkward, sometimes frustrating dance, long conversations, mild misunderstandings, misunderstandings for sure. And of course, Barney was always there to try to help. Oh my goodness. Which brings us to the episode of A Wife for Andy. Barney, in full Deputy Cupid mode, decides Andy needs to get married, like immediately, now. And he begins matchmaking with the enthusiasm of someone who should absolutely not be matchmaking. And what's fascinating here is that isn't Barney's chaos, because it's always these chaos. It's Andy's resistance. Andy doesn't reject marriage because he doesn't believe in love. He resists it because he takes it very seriously. That's a really grown-up idea for a sitcom in the early 1960s. Helen challenges Andy. She calls him out gently, sometimes not quite as gently. She expects emotional honesty without really demanding it. And over time, Andy opens up, not with some grand gesture, but with consistency. No big proposals. There were no dramatic confessions. They were just two people choosing each other again and again. And maybe that's why fans stayed invested. Because Andy and Helen don't really feel like a TV romance. They more felt like a real romance. They remind us that love doesn't have to shout to be strong. Sometimes it just sits on the porch and talks things through and waits until the timing is right. And then there was Barney and Thelma Lou, Mayberry's maybe their most chaotic couple. So that's a whole different direction. We'll swing there. Because if Andy and Helen were calm and steady and emotionally mature, Barney Fife and Thelma Lou are a walking Valentine's Day disaster. Mostly Barney, let's be honest. But they were. And we loved them for it. We loved them. We were rooting for them, right? Barney Fife's approach to romance, he approaches it the same way he approaches law enforcement, with extreme confidence, minimal evidence, and one bullet he absolutely refuses to use responsibly. Barney adores Thelma Lou. There's no question about that. But Barney also believes, deep in his soul, that he deserves admiration, loyalty, and constant reassurance. Preferably delivered every hour or so. Barney. The problem is Thelma Lou is a perfectly reasonable human being. Which means Barney is never quite satisfied. Episodes like Barney and Thelma Lou, however you say that episode shows us the core problem of their relationship: insecurity. Barney is endlessly threatened by other men, by imagined slights, by his own reflection if it looked at him funny. He was always threatened by these things. And every time Barney feels insecure, he does what Barney does best. He overreacts. He pouts. He postures. He storms off in a cloud of wounded pride, usually convinced that he is the one being mistreated. Meanwhile, Thelma Lou waits. And that's what makes her such an underrated character. She's patient. She's kind. She believes in Barney. Sometimes more than Barney believes in himself. But she also has limits. And when she reaches them, she lets Barney feel his consequences. Which is surprisingly progressive for the time. Now, the real reason fans still debate, the fans still debate this, right, is where Barney and Thelma Lou, or were they, meant for each other? Were they ever going to get together? When were they going to get together? Where were they going to get together? Were they meant for each other? That's what we all think about. Were they? Because on one hand, Barney drives her crazy. I mean, on the other hand, she understands Barney. And I don't know, maybe that's the key. Barney doesn't need someone who'll flatter him endlessly. He needs someone who sees through him and loves him anyway. And when they finally reunite and marry one another and return to Mayberry, man, it didn't feel like a joke, did it? It felt good. It feels earned. Barney's grown, not completely, but enough. And Thelma Lou, she chose him again. You know, love isn't perfect. It's messy. It's insecure. It forgets anniversaries and says the wrong things. Not that I ever do that, but I'm sure some people do. But it always keeps coming back. And somehow Barney, of all people, reminds us that even in the most exasperating of ways, he's still worth loving. So those are our two main couples that we're going to talk about they both ended up getting together in the end. You know, Andy married Helen, and Barney finally got Thelma Lou. They're all together, and the world was right in Mayberry. Love in Mayberry was patient. There was kindness, there was humor, and there was forgiveness. To me, that's why the show still feels perfect for a Valentine's Day. Because you got Andy and Barney with their girls. It's pretty amazing Thelma Lou stayed with Barney. Because there was Juanita and everybody else, and that she really understood Barney. And Helen, sometimes she could be a little rough, but maybe that's what Andy needed, is someone that was a little bit on his level. So I hope you enjoy thinking about that, and I really want to ask you to give me a call and stuff and write me. Tell about your favorite Mayberry love moment that would fit into this category, and maybe we'll read it on a future episode. I'd love to hear from you about that. That'd be good. So from Mayberry to your home, happy Valentine's Day, and take care of one another. There you go. So let's see, Valentine's Day is coming up, so I hope you're going to get out there and watch a couple of episodes of the Andy Griffith Show and see what you think about that. See how you think. I think Thelma Lou was pretty amazing in the way that she put up with Barney, honestly. And Andy and Helen, that was often tough. But I always thought Andy got off real easy when he went to visit that lawyer, that lady lawyer, and got sunburned. It was in the color episode. I don't know if you guys watch it, but he came back and he was sunburned, and she found out, Helen did, that it was a girl lawyer that he went to see, and that just all kind of smoothed over a whole lot easier than I think it would have, because, you know, she ended up going somewhere and she got sunburned with some guy, and then they just acted like they're even. So yeah, Andy Griffith Show was not a big romance show or anything like that, but there was a lot in it that really did show you this. And of course, we know Barney wasn't a real character. He wasn't a real person. He was a character. But wow, what an amazing character he was. And Betty played Thelma Lou. How could you not love Thelma Lou? She was great, just like Betty. So there you go. So that's our Valentine's. That's about as much Valentine lovey-dovey stuff as I can do. So break out your pencils and your piece of paper, because now we're going to play a little trivia, but don't leave yet. Remember, we've got a special Valentine's song coming from Fred Boone to his wife, Jenny. So don't leave me. All right, so let's get the music going. There is our trivia music. And here comes our trivia. These are, again, by Paul Mulick. I want to thank Paul Mulick for submitting these for us all. And this week's topic is, oh, you're funny, you are. That sounds like something Barney would have said, doesn't it? All right, so here we go. We have got 5 questions tonight. 5 questions. We'll have 5 questions next week, too. All right, so here we go. Questions. You're going to be completing the quote. These are all things that Barney said when he was mad at Andy. These are all things that Barney said when he was mad at Andy. A perfect score will be 5 points for this evening. Okay, you ready? Here we go. Question number 1. Fill in the blank. You ought to go on the radio and blank. You ought to go on the radio and blank. All right, you got to fill in the quote. Let's see how our chat rooms are doing. Our chat rooms are usually here. They're here on Monday nights, and they are going to be trying to answer these questions. Oh my goodness. Cody already put it in. This is a long answer, by the way. Good job in our chat room. So if you'd like to be a part of our chat rooms, you can join us at live.twochairsnowaiting.com on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is when we record this, and you can try to answer these live. You can answer them right now when you're listening. All right, so let me read it one more time. I'll give you the answer. You ought to go on the radio and blank. Fill in the blank. The answer is you ought to go on the radio and be an all-night disc jockey. At least then I could turn you off. If you got it there, close enough, if you got it, then I could turn you off or anything like that. I'll give it to you. But that's it. At least then I could turn you off. You ought to be on the radio, and the answer is be an all-night disc jockey. At least then I could turn you off. There you go. There's the first answer. All right, question number 2. Again, remember, things Barney said when he was mad at Andy. Number 2, fill in the blank. You're just full of fun today. Why don't you go to the old people's home and... Okay. You're full of fun today. Why don't you go up to the old people's home and fill in the blank? What did he say? You're just full of fun today. Why don't you go up to the old people's home and... Oh, that's a good one too. Some folks are getting it mixed up with a different quote that's very similar to this one. Okay, here comes the answer. All right, here's the answer. You're just full of fun today. Why don't you go up to the old people's home and wax the steps? That'll be funny too. That'll be funny too. It's not on there, but it seems like that's what he might have said. So basically, the answer for the blank is wax the steps. Why don't you go up to the old people's home and wax the steps? That was question 2. All right, question number 3. Things Barney said when he's mad at Andy. Here we go. Fill in the blank. You're a scream. You ought to get a job in one of them blank. Oh, I don't remember this one. This is a good one. You're a scream. You ought to get a job on one of them blanks. Oh, Kentucky Mike in our chat room. Cody as well. Both got them. Oh, my goodness. I'm looking at others. I see Candy got the wax the steps over there. All right. The answer is you're a scream. You ought to get out. You ought to get a job on one of them excursion boats. Excursion boats. So there you go. Excursion boats is the correct answer. That was a number 3. We got 2 more. All right, here we go. Here you go. Number 4. You're almost as funny as Floyd. You know that? Why don't you two team up? Call yourself... Oh, this one's easier. I think you should be able to get this one. Blank. What's the answer? You're almost as funny as Floyd. You know that? Why don't you two team up and call yourself... Yes, people in the chat rooms are getting it. I see Emmett. Looks like he was the first one in one of our chat rooms. And Jeff Thu got it. Followed quickly by Mrs. Frankenstein. And wow, Candy had gotten the excursion boats over there as well. All right. So here's the answer. You're almost as funny as Floyd. You know that? Why don't you two team up? Call yourselves Frick and Frack. Frick and Frack was what the answer we were looking for. It wasn't Bert and Squirt. It was Frick and Frack. There you go. All right, that was number 4. So here's our 5th and final question for the evening. Here we go. Remember, Barney's mad at Andy. Oh, you're a clown, you are. Why don't you put a red light on your nose and blank? What did he say? Oh, you're a clown, you are. Why don't you put a red light on your nose and blank? Yes, Kentucky Mike. That's the first I see in our chat room. Again, you guys can be a part of our chat rooms. How are you doing? These are pretty hard. So not that many people are grabbing them very fast in the chat rooms. Looks like Jeff Thu got this one as well. And Candy again, she got the last question over there at Facebook. All right, here's the answer. Oh, you're a clown, you are. Why don't you put a red light on your nose and go in the circus is the answer. Go in the circus. Go in the circus is the answer. It's just go in the circus, not join, but go in the circus. All right, so there it is, guys. There was 5 points available. How did you do? Paul, thank you very much for these. Those are pretty fun. I love this. I love these quotes. I love these quotes by Barney. He is awesome. He is absolutely amazing. Okay, so we have made it here. I've been touting this for the entire episode, so I hope you guys are ready for it. You all remember Fred and Jenny Boone, our couple in Mayberry that would, throw dishes at one another and morning dear, morning honey. We all know them. Well, our friend Ronnie Felker, who is, if you ever see him at Mayberry Days, he's our salt and pepper Barney. He's dressed up in his salt and pepper suit that Barney always wore. And he wrote the lyrics for this song. There's a longer version of a poem that he put out. This one's a little shorter that he had originally sent me. And I created a video of the song. So the video and everything is something made by me. So if you're only listening, you're still going to enjoy this, because listen to the words. The video goes right along with it, and I really hope you're going to enjoy this. So without further ado, this is Valentine's from Fred for Jenny. I feel like I'm Casey Kasem doing a dedication. This song is dedicated to Jenny from Fred for Valentine's Day. Here.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Being married to you is worse than the flu. Jenny, I'm so glad that you're mine, even though you've said you must have been blind. Each year that we are married has flew like a flash. It's like rolling in the poison ivy and coming out with a rash. We were so young, and now we are old. We felt like we are getting over a very bad cold.
There you go, Jenny from Fred, right from his heart. It was his heart speaking to your heart. I hope you guys enjoyed that. That is a great song, and we will play it again on the way out so you guys can listen to it again just because I think it is awesome. Thank you, Ronnie Felker, for writing that song and putting the lyrics together. It was a lot of fun to create the music and to do the video. It took a while, but I really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed listening or watching it. I definitely encourage you watching it. I'll be sharing it on other sites right here in the end of the week. But first, it's going to be just for you guys here on Two Chairs for a day or so, and then I'll start sharing it later in the week. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. I would definitely love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 256-513-9526. Tell me what you thought about the Cupid stories here, the Mayberry Valentines. Tell me about what you think some other great love stories, the great natural romances of all time are here in Mayberry. Again, 256-513-9526. You can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. I would absolutely love to hear from you. It is definitely something that I think we can all enjoy. So definitely take time and let me hear. Folks, until next time, have a great week, and we'll see you right here on Two Chairs. Stick around for the music video one more time, and we'll talk to you next time. Good night, everybody.
are red, violets are blue. Being married to you is worse than the flu. Jenny, I'm so glad that you're mine, even though you've said you must have been blind. Each year that we are married has flew like a flash. It's like rolling in the poison ivy and coming out with a rash. We were so young and now we are old.